Okay, I've been collecting like a ridiculous amount of dupes. Okay, so the first one that we got is a bronzer. So we've got the MAC X Patrick Star Full Face Bronzer in Give Me Life. So that's the middle product versus the ColourPop CA Dreaming, which is $8. Imagine the MAC one is $49.50, you know? Woo! I actually feel like this is kind of a dupe, but the color payoff in regards to the swatches is better for the ColourPop one than it is for the Patrick Star one. And you would have thought that the one which was more expensive, the MAC one, would be a lot more pigmented, but that's not the case. I do feel like these are definitely dupes. They're very, very close to one another. I'm not a big bronzer person. I used to like bronzers. I used to use the Benefit Hoola. Absolutely used to love that. I used to wear it every single time I did my makeup, but I don't use it anymore. I just prefer to just contour. Anyway, so we've got the Fenty Beauty Unveil liquid lipstick, which is $24 versus the CoverGirl Paradise Lost, which is $6.99. I don't see these as dupes personally, simply because I feel like the Fenty one is more of deep, darker brown, and the CoverGirl one is more of like this brown has a little bit of red undertone, and it also looks like it's a little bit patchy in that swatch on the model's lips. So I'm personally feeling the Fenty one over the CoverGirl one, but they are both nice. I guess it just depends on what your personal preferences are. They are close. I guess it's just a case of the undertones being different from one another. Then we have the Versace Jelly Beam Illuminator, which is $40. Oh my gosh. Versus the Makeup Revolution Jewel Collection Jelly Highlighter, which is $9. Listen, these two don't look like they're the same shade, because the Versace one looks like it's more of a rose gold and the Revolution one looks more like it's a yellow gold. But the product itself is most likely going to be a dupe in respect of the fact that they are both jelly highlighters. I'm actually quite interested in possibly trying the Revolution Jelly Highlighter. Let me know what you think. I might not, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Then we have the Jouer Ice Highlighter, which is $24 versus the Wet n Wild Winter Falls in LA, which is $4.78. These do look like a dupe for one another, except for the fact that the Jouer one looks like it's a little bit more bright, it's a little bit more beaming, it has a little bit more pigment. So maybe if you were looking for more of a bright highlighter rather than a natural highlighter, the Jouer one might be for you, because the Wet n Wild one from this swatch looks like it's a little bit more downplayed. But who's to say that it doesn't build up, or like all you need to really use is a little bit of setting spray on your brush after you've picked up the highlighter, and it just tends to show up a lot more. So you could try that. But aside from that, yeah, I do feel like they are quite similar. Then we got three here. We've got the Fenty Beauty Uncuffed, which is $24. The Atomic Makeup Rumble, which is $13. And the CoverGirl Coral Chronicles, which is $7.99. Okay, I kind of feel like the bottom one is a mixture of the top two. I don't feel like any of these are dupes for one another. They're in the same kind of color family, but they're not 100% the same as one another. And I know that each girl who is wearing these shades have different skin tones from one another, but at the same time it's kind of like they're not the same. They're just not the same. I'm sorry, they're not. The Fenty one is more of like a mauve kind of color. The top one is a coral. Like, it's not the same. Then we have the RCMA No Color Powder, which is $12 versus the Derma Blend Loose Setting Powder, which is $27. I've heard nothing but good things about the RCMA No Color Powder. I'm not too sure if they do other colors. Maybe they do, because not everybody can wear these translucent no color powders. I feel like people who have deeper complexions, they just tend to look ashy, even though they're supposed to be translucent and not show up any, like, not show any pigment. Regardless of that, I kind of feel like if you were looking for a white translucent setting powder, go for the RCMA one. I've heard nothing but good things about their stuff. And this $27 for a powder? Then we have the MAC Global Glow, which is $34 versus the Luxie Beauty Honey Chow, which is $7.50. I feel like every time we get a Luxie highlighter, they tend to literally always be better than the other brand that we're looking at. The Luxie one just looks so sparkly, so pigmented. The MAC one is just a little bit more downplayed. So I guess it depends on what kind of look you go for, because there's some people who just like a natural glow and there's some people who want like this beaming glow. So I guess it just depends on what kind of glow you're looking for. I would probably be on the Luxie end of the spectrum. But I do feel like they are kind of similar, but the Luxie one has more of a golden finish. Then we have the Kylie Cosmetics 23 lip gloss, which is $16, versus the Colourpop Fantasia, which is $6. The Kylie one has more of a golden finish, just like a peachy lip gloss with a golden finish, and the Fantasia one is more of a natural lip gloss, so it just kind of looks like it's a little bit more of a flesh toned kind of lip gloss. I think they're both nice, but they're not dupes for one another in my opinion. I can see that gold on the Kylie one. I can see it. I can see it. Then we have the Wet n Wild Golden Flower Crown, which is $4.99, versus the Dose of Colors Desi and Katy Fuego. I don't know if these are dupes. I feel like the Wet n Wild one is a little bit more yellow gold, and the Dose of Colors one is more of like a light gold. I don't feel like these are dupes for one another. I personally just don't see it. Then we have the Dose of Colors My Main, which is $18, versus the Maybelline Amazonian, which is $7.99. I actually prefer the Dose of Colors one. I feel like the Maybelline one is not a fully matte liquid lipstick. Maybe it wasn't supposed to be. Oh no, it is supposed to be a matte because it says matte ink. But in this picture, it does not look matte. It looks like a demi-matte. The Dose of Colors one looks like a matte, and I love that color. These two are close, but I don't think that these are dupes 100%. I just don't. Then lastly, we have the Dose of Colors Desi X Katy Francation Dirty Money Shadow. So it's in the top row, it's the one which is next to the sparkly blue, versus the Colourpop Telepathy, which is $5. Okay, so first of all, I was about to say I don't know anybody who's buying a whole entire palette just for one shade. Guilty, I have done that. Okay, please don't judge me. Actually, I don't really care. It's my money. I do what I want. But if you were looking to get that palette just for that one shade, don't worry, because you can get the Colourpop one. This looks so close to the Dose of Colors Dirty Money shade. It looks really close. No one's gonna know that there's gonna be any difference. If you put the Dose one on one eye and you put the Colourpop one on the other eye, no one's gonna know any different. Trust me, no one is going to know any different. So I would definitely advise that you go for the Colourpop one. I'm just saying. So those are all of the dupes that I have for today. I've been collecting so many dupes. I've got so much more to show you. So I will at some point come and do some more. Let me know if any of these dupes are something that you're looking for. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.